Let's take a journey inward. Right now, I'm about halfway through a 24-hour fast, and I want to walk you through the quiet, pretty amazing process that's happening inside my body as we speak. You know, it's a simple question, isn't it? We're always focused on what we put into our bodies. But what happens when we just don't? What does my body do when it finally gets a break from the constant work of digestion? Well, that's exactly what we're about to explore. So before we start the clock on this fast, let's just get a picture of the normal state of things. Inside me, there's this whole ecosystem, truly trillions of microorganisms that make up my gut microbiome. And they're not just hanging out, they're like a bustling city of workers, processing, defending, communicating, and they basically never get a day off. Usually, my system is just in this relentless cycle. Food comes in, the lining of my gut springs into action to absorb nutrients, and my microbiome gets to work breaking down everything else. It's a really demanding, high-energy job that, causes a lot of wear and tear on the whole system. But today is different. I've basically hit the pause button. For the next 24 hours, no new food is coming down the pipe. The whole assembly line is shutting down. That constant hum of activity inside my gut, it's about to go quiet. So here's the game plan for this journey. We just started the pause. Around the 12-hour mark, something new starts to happen. The body switches into repair mode. And by the end of it all, at 24 hours, the goal is a full system renewal. Let's see how it plays out. And this pause, it isn't just about taking a break. It actually creates the perfect conditions for my body to start its own deep cleaning process. It's a process called autophagy, which is where my cells literally begin to repair themselves by cleaning out old damaged parts and recycling them for energy. With the digestive system offline, all that energy can now be rerouted to this crucial maintenance work. So before this, my gut lining was constantly under stress, but now, during the fast, it's finally getting a chance to repair. And at the very same time, my microbial diversity, which can get a little one note depending on my diet, is getting a chance to rebalance and really start to flourish. It really is all about this idea of a reset. Think of it like a garden. If you're constantly planting the same things over and over, you deplete the soil. But if you give that garden a rest period, the soil recovers, and new diverse life can start to take hold. That's pretty much what's happening inside my gut right now. And just to be clear, microbial diversity isn't just about having a ton of bacteria. It's about having many different types of helpful bacteria. And that variety is everything. It makes my internal ecosystem way more resilient, and it influences everything from my mood to my metabolism to how well I can fight off illness. A diverse microbiome is key for a strong immune system. You see, during this fast, some of the dominant bacteria that absolutely love constant sugar and processed foods, well, they start to die off. This clears the way for other, more beneficial types to grow, creating a healthier, more balanced community. It's exactly like weeding and then reseeding the garden of my gut. Okay, so it's not just about the little critters living in my gut, it's also about the house they live in. So what's actually happening to the physical barrier, the lining of my intestine during this time? This is where we got to talk about something called leaky gut. See, the wall of my gut is supposed to be this strong, tightly sealed barrier, but from constant stress and inflammation, tiny gaps can actually form. And this allows things like undigested food particles and other junk to leak into my bloodstream, which can trigger my immune system and cause inflammation all over. And this is exactly why this pause is so critical. By not having to deal with digesting food, my body can redirect its resources. It finally has the energy and the time to focus on repairing those gaps, strengthening the connections between the cells, and patching up that vital defensive wall. So why does this matter so much? Well, for me, this repair process is incredibly calming for any irritation in my system. But bigger picture, it reinforces my body's single most important barrier against the outside world and just helps lower my baseline of inflammation. And just like that, the 24 hours are up. The maintenance cycle is complete. All that quiet, hard work that's been happening deep inside is finished, and my system is basically primed and ready to go back online. So let's just recap the results of this internal reset. I'm left with a gut lining that's stronger and less permeable. My microbiome is now more diverse and balanced, and all of that together leads to a fortified immune system and better protection against the problems that come with leaky gut. It's a pretty comprehensive internal upgrade. Reflecting on this, the big takeaway for me is that my body wasn't just idle during this time. Not at all. It was actively engaged in one of its most important jobs, self-repair. It didn't just rest, it intelligently rebuilt and fortified itself from the inside out. And that really leaves me with a final thought. We spend so much time and energy trying to do things to improve our health. But what if the most powerful tool we have is to simply step back, create a little space, and just allow our body's own ancient built-in intelligence to do the work it was always designed to do?